Hello, hope you guys are doing well in this Cancer season. There's an upcoming new moon in Cancer, and so this is why I wanted to do a series about the sun in Cancer through each of the houses. And in this video, we'll be covering the sun in Cancer in the 7th house. So if you have this placement, then this is the video for you. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and cover what this means. So the sign of Cancer is about emotions, intuition, personal attachments, family, and it's about the creative process. And it's about our personal projects, our personal life, usually things that we carry out within the confines of our home. So things like creative interests like art, music, reading, writing, and just spending time with people that are loved ones and that are close to us. So the sun is a fixed fire planet because it rules Leo, the fixed fire sign. And fixed is about a constant state, and fire is about action or energy. So the sun represents a constant state of action or energy, and this is what others perceive as our personality, because it's just the way that we constantly tend to act. And so with the sun being in Cancer, the way that you constantly act, or basically your personality, is to be reserved, more private, and to be more invested into creative interests, and into the creative process. The sun also shows us, how we will things into existence. It's how we manifest or create our reality. It's our willpower. And with it being in Cancer, your way of creating and of growing in life is through slow and steady investments, especially into forms of security, or into family, or into your home life, or into some sort of creative endeavors. And Cancer is cardinal water. Cardinal has to do with a persistent focus on one thing. And water is about connections, the creative process, and creative potential. So the way that you will things into existence when you have the sun in Cancer is through a persistent investment into some sort of potential or some sort of growth. Kind of like a garden, and developing plants in a garden, you just water them and continue investing into them, putting your resources towards them. And this is kind of how you build or create your life when you have the sun in Cancer. And a lot of times this creates an environment where you build a family, and things kind of blossom around the project that you create. And usually that project takes the form of some sort of home or real estate, or some sort of home base, like some place that becomes the center of your resources and your investments. And you develop that when you have the sun in Cancer. With that being said, your sun is in the 7th house. And so the 7th house means it is having to do with obligations, agreements, and relationships with others, as well as perhaps partnerships. Sometimes it can have to do with exchanges in business as well. But the 7th house is also the opposite of our ascendant. So with this placement, you have Capricorn in the 1st house, or it is within your 1st house somewhere, if you have the ascendant like in Sagittarius or something like that. And so what this indicates is that your way of willing things into existence and your source of energy is opposite than your ascendant. So it's opposite than your natural personality or identity or way of acting. So there's like a conflict here, an opposition. And what it indicates when you have the sun here in Cancer is that although you have this identity and this drive to accomplish things that are important and that matter in the world, with your sign of Capricorn being somewhere in your first house, but in addition, not in addition, but in contrast to this, your source of energy and your willpower comes from your home life and your personal life. And so a lot of times you are sacrificing or making sacrifices to your objectives regarding work life, career, and other responsibilities in order to spend time or invest into your relationships and home life or creative projects. Also, with the sun being in Cancer, people that have that, they're quite creative, and also their personality tends to fluctuate on the basis of their emotions, because Cancer rules emotions. So the sun doesn't really feel too comfortable here because it is more mutable and it's changing. So the personality can be a little bit more enigmatic, more secretive, or more private. And of course, they are reserved and more timid when people have sun in Cancer. And so the sun doesn't feel as seen when it's in this sign, because it's the most private part of the zodiac. But what this indicates is that perhaps your state of energy fluctuates a lot, and this may contrast or oppose your ascendant and the sign of Capricorn, which is about responsibilities and whatnot. So sometimes you feel like you don't have the energy to pursue your objectives and responsibilities, and you find that peace within the home life. And a lot of times you incorporate personal projects into your career. So people that have the sun in the 7th house in Cancer, part of their career could be some sort of creative skill or talent that they have, or they could be doing that as their job because they need to be doing something that excites their creativity or utilizes this aspect of themselves, because their energy tends to fluctuate, like I said. And a lot of times your energy is invested into your relationships, especially with family and people that you're familiar and close with. So there's a constant need to make agreements, set deadlines, set dates with people. And this is just your way of willing things into existence. This is just your way of going through life and progressing and developing. You make some sort of compromise between responsibilities and family and creative things, personal interests, etc. And your energy actually comes from your relationships, your family. So in other words, these people can also be doing business with others. Like they'll have partners, like they'll have a business partner that helps them carry out certain objectives. And a lot of times these can be investors, because the sign of Cancer has to do with long-term investments of resources and just growing things. So these are savvy and intelligent investors. They have high social intelligence, and they're quite observant and perceptive. So again, this contributes also to their social intelligence, with Cancer having that perceptive and receptive trait about them. Other than that, I think I covered most of what I wanted to in this video. Hopefully that resonated in some way. If it did, please like, share, subscribe to this channel. And other than that, if you enjoyed, consider checking out my Patreon if you're not already watching from there, to see other astrology content, presentations, horoscopes that I post. And as well, I do a free natal chart reading and inquiry to each of my subscribers. And, you know, I can answer any type of question. It could be about life, career, talents, synastry, love, you name it. And then I look into your chart and see what I'm seeing in terms of the astrology and how you can utilize your skills, talents, and your energies. Or I can answer whatever is pressing your mind and on your mind. So if that interests you, definitely check out Patreon. But other than that, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys sometime soon in another video. Peace.